First of all, what is a diriment impediment? Dirimere means it destroys. The marriage is invalid. Marriage is invalid. This can be contrasted with simple prohibition. Simple prohibition does not make a marriage invalid. This is a very, very strict prohibition to the extent that the marriage becomes invalid. To the extent that the marriage becomes invalid. Diriment, impediment. And then the second canon in this section, 1074, speaks about what is a public impediment and what is an occult impediment. A public impediment can be proved in the external forum. If it cannot be proved, it is called occult impediment. The next canon speaks about only the supreme authority can declare what invalidates marriage by divine law, and when the divine law prohibits a marriage. Only the same authority can determine when a marriage can be rendered invalid for the baptized. So each and every local authority cannot say these are diriment impediments. That is clear. The next one is a custom cannot add to the existing impediments or reduce the number of impediments already declared by the supreme authority. That we have already studied also. Then we have heard about something as vettitum, I mean prohibiting a marriage. Who can do it? Local ordinary can prohibit a marriage. Since everybody can contract marriage who is not prohibited by law, we have to remember that this prohibition should not be permanent. As long as it is necessary, the local ordinary can prohibit a marriage. Then we studied about the power of the local ordinary to dispense the impediments, especially all impediments of ecclesiastical law. The local ordinary normally can dispense all impediments of ecclesiastical law except those that are reserved to the Holy See. What are reserved to the Holy See? The impediment of sacred orders that is mentioned in Canon 1087. The impediment of public perpetual vow of chastity in a religious institute of pontifical right, that is reserved to the Holy See. Diocesan right is reserved to the local ordinary or diocesan bishop. Then the impediment of crime. What is the canon for impediment of crime? 1090. Impediment of crime mentioned in 1090. These are reserved to the Holy See. Others can be dispensed by the local ordinary. Then we studied about Canon 1079. So, normally local ordinary is the person to dispense. But what happens in danger of death? The normal authority, again local ordinary is available, means he will dispense. But if local ordinary is not available, others are extended. The faculty is extended to others. Others. He is not approachable. The canon also gives the meaning of what is the meaning of not able to approach. Means you can contact him only through, normal way is only through letter. You cannot contact him through letter. In such a situation, there is no possibility, then others. So those who are given that power are given in Canon 1079 para 2. Read that. 1079 para 2.
The same circumstances mentioned in paragraph 1, but only for cases in which not even the local ordinary can be approached. The same faculty of dispensation is possessed by the parish priest, by a properly delegated sacred minister, and by the priest or deacon who assists at the marriage in accordance with the Canon 1116 paragraph 2.
See, the faculty is extended to others in accordance with para 2. And then para 3 speaks about confessor's faculty to dispense occult impediments. The faculty of the confessor to dispense from occult impediments, whether within the act of the sacramental confession or outside of it. So that is given in. Then Canon 1080 speaks about omnia parata cases. Everything is prepared for the marriage. Everything is arranged for the marriage. So there also some others have restricted power, provided then the impediments are occult. Provided the impediments are occult. Let us read, I will read Canon 1080. Whenever an impediment is discovered, after everything has already been prepared for the wedding, and the marriage cannot without probable danger of grave harm be postponed until a dispensation is obtained from the competent authority, the power to dispense from all impediments except 1078 para 2 number 1. You see 1078 para 2 number 1 is impediment arising from sacred orders or from a public perpetual vow of chastity in a religious institute of pontifical right. So except these, the canon says, except those mentioned in 1078 para 2 number 1 is possessed by the local ordinary, and provided the case is occult by all mentioned in 1079 para 2 and 3, the conditions prescribed therein having been observed. Here there is a distinction between the local ordinary and the others. Local ordinary, whether the case is public or occult. Others only when it is occult. In danger of death cases, public or occult, no distinction. In omnia parata cases, the local ordinary has power both when it is public or occult, but others have power only when it is occult. So this is with regard to omnia parata cases. Special power in certain special situations. One is danger of death, the other is omnia parata cases. 1081. The parish priest or deacon mentioned in 1079 para 2 is to inform the local ordinary immediately of a dispensation granted for the external forum. And this has to be recorded in the marriage register. So in danger of death also, you have given dispensation, immediately inform that it may be entered. So suppose later on it emerges public, unless a rescript of penitentiary provides otherwise, dispensation from occult impediments granted in the internal non-sacramental forum is to be recorded in the book to be kept in the secret archive of the curia. No other dispensation for external forum is necessary if occult impediment becomes public. Occult impediments is valid even when it becomes public. No new dispensation. This is with regard to chapter 2, Diriment impediments in general. Diriment impediments in general. Close it.